Hey Alex, hey, this is Mr. Lowe, and I'm going to show you how I make my version of kimchi. Um, it's not the traditional kimchi that you bury in the ground and you let ferment for days, or you leave it on the counter for 3 days and then you refrigerate to let it ferment. So this is a different version. It's probably more like a aged kimchi salad. So and you can use different kinds of vegetables, but what I'm going to use is garlic chives, carrots, cucumbers, onion, Napa cabbage, and I actually have some daikon radish. And daikon radish. And you can use whatever amount of whatever. On the last version I did throw in some Fuji apple, which worked. And then for the sauce, you're going to need this. This is gochugaru. This is Korean red pepper. Then you need the powder, red pepper powder. And then I also add rice vinegar, plum extract, sesame oil, and toasted sesame seeds. So I will toast these and then add these later. Oh, and one last ingredient in the dressing is 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. Okay, so I cut the Napa cabbage into bite-sized squares, roughly, and then julienne the carrots and the daikon radish. The onion is a sweet yellow onion. I cut across the grain, so didn't julienne them like I just cut it so it went across all the cells like that. I'm sure you'll know what I mean. And then the cucumbers, I deseeded them. Okay, and then gonna cut them into like bite-sized pieces like this. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna throw this all into one bowl. Make a big batch here. All right. And water, and to season it, we're going to add about, I'd say, 3 tablespoons of salt. So I'll just eyeball 1, 2, 3. Okay? Then give it a good mix. And then after you let it mix, you're gonna let it hang out for about, I'd say, 20 minutes. If you go too long, like if you let it sit for an hour, it will be way too salty. So I'd say 20 to 30 minutes, just to kind of get the salt to draw out the water and to season it slightly. And then I will be rinsing it after that. Okay. All right, so while those vegetables are hanging out in the salt, I'm gonna prepare the garlic chives. So I don't put these in salt. What we do with these is they're very strong raw. These are really strong. So to take some of the raw flavor out of them, I actually blanch these in hot water for about a minute and then put them into an ice bath. Okay, and then I'll be cutting them into about 1.5 inch size pieces like this. And you can go all the way and just do the whole thing. Even these heads will be fine. These are stronger flavor. All right, and that was about 1 minute. It might have been a little less. If you go too long, they will be way too soft. So it was maybe under a minute. Maybe it's 45 seconds. Okay, cut it. Okay, so now we are draining the the garlic chives that were blanched, and we're just gonna let these dry out a bit. These can be added at the very end and then mixed in. This is the vegetables that were hanging out in the salt for 30 minutes, and I've been mixing them every 5-10 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes, just to make sure the salt was evenly distributed. And so now I'm gonna rinse them thoroughly and drain them and squeeze out as much of the water as we can. Got this colander, and then we're just gonna rinse this and squeeze out as much as we can. So just rinse, get all the excess salt. There's actually quite a bit of salt in the vegetables, but make sure you get all the excess off, and then I'm gonna squeeze these. All right, and then we're gonna squeeze out as much water as we can out of these vegetables. Okay, and then gonna throw them into a big mixing bowl, or in this case, a big pot. And we'll just keep on doing that one hand. Okay, so now we'll add all the seasoning. So it's 3 parts, and these are tablespoons, 3 parts of the chili flakes. It seems like it's a lot, but of the red pepper powder. This is what gives it the red color that goes everywhere. Okay. 1 part sesame oil. 2 parts plum extract. 1 part rice vinegar. I did leave this off the original ingredient list, but it is a must, is 1 part fish sauce. And then the toasted sesame seeds will go in, and these will go in last, the garlic chives. Okay, and these are some toasted sesame seeds, and go in, and then I threw in the garlic chives, and I'm just gonna mix it. And the longer it sits in this, the more liquid it will generate. So usually the next day there's like a more liquid that kind of creeps up the size of the container, and that's it. And the longer it sits, the better, probably, at least a day.